When I first began writing fantasy, I was able to bypass a common struggle. That is, complicated, hard to pronounce character names. I bypassed it by deciding not to deal with it. I literally named one of my villains Carl. But when it comes to fantasy creatures, something I really wanted to feature, I came up with a trick to make it a bit easier. And today, I'm going to share that with you with the help of Sir Reginald, who has giant lava snail cousins featured in Beldestein. Once you figure out the little bit of a trick for magical creatures, they're actually pretty easy and a lot of fun. I have a pack of wolves called the Woven Guard, and they have never failed a hunt. I have golden doves, and they have golden breast feathers that have healing powers when taken by somebody innocent. I, of course, have giant snails. The snails in the series are the size of horses, and instead of leaving a slime trail like he's leaving on my hand, I don't know if you can see it, but instead of the slime trail, they leave a trail of lava. When you are creating your magical creatures, you don't have to mix things together. If you picture a griffin, it is a mash of several different animals. A centaur is half man, half horse. A unicorn is a horse with a horn on its head. It doesn't necessarily need to be mashed together. It can simply be a regular animal with a magical touch. So that is what I have done with my creatures. My animals in my series have a regular standard animal base, and then I expanded upon the qualities, or I maybe twisted some things. So when it comes to the Woven Guard, step number 1, I just pick the animal wolf. You can pick any animal and make it magical from there. Once I pick out the animal that I'm going to be working with, I create a list of what I deem as important. By important things, what I mean is traits that you think of when you picture the animal. This is going to help you create a foundation so you can either enhance those traits or flip them later. When you picture a kangaroo, you picture an animal that bounces on its back legs and it has a pouch. When you picture a fish, you know it's swimming underwater. Birds have feathers and they can fly. Reptiles are cold-blooded and have scales. In the case of my Woven Guard, I created a list of 4 things I wanted to keep in mind. Number 1, the fact that they hunt in packs. Number 2, the fact that they hunt, they're really good hunters. Number 3, the fact that they're fast. And number 4, wolves howl. Those 4 traits are the foundation of the Woven Guard, even though they are not exactly real wolves or realistic, real-life wolves you would see in the woods. When you have your list of important traits in front of you, you have 2 directions you can go in. 1, you can decide to enhance those traits, or 2, you can decide to completely flip those traits. With the Woven Guard, I wanted to enhance their traits. Instead of being good hunters, the Woven Guard has never failed a hunt. And instead of being fast runners, they can cross hundreds of miles in just one day. The Woven Guard hunts in packs, but they're a lot bigger than your average wolf. If I'm remembering correctly, they're over 6 foot tall. I don't know offhand how tall a normal wolf is, but they're not taller than your average man. The Woven Guard also has some completely magical traits. Their eyes resemble burning embers. And, minor spoiler, their howling that I mentioned earlier, they use that to be able to call something called a portal. You could also choose to completely flip the traits that you're displaying in your animals. Instead of being a fast runner, they're the slowest you've ever seen. Instead of being able to swim underwater, they can fly through the sky. But even if you're planning on doing that, I still think you should start with a foundation of the important things. The reason for that is simply so that you can still seem like you know what you're talking about, even though you are writing something that's completely impossible in the real world. An example of this is snakes. A lot of people think that snakes are poisonous. They're not. Snakes are venomous. If it bites you and you don't make it, that's venom. If you eat it and you don't make it, that's poison. So, if you are writing a snake in your book that has completely opposite snake creatures, it has eyelids and can blink, it has legs so it can run, it has fur and feathers, but it's still a snake at heart, if you say it's poisonous, you're going to seem like you don't know what you're talking about because you don't know what you're talking about. If you say it's venomous, then all of those other completely flipped traits, they suddenly become okay because your reader knows that you know what you're talking about. That is how I personally create magical creatures for my novel. I like to create a solid animal base and expand upon or flip those traits. But when you're the author of your book, You can create your magical creatures however you want to. You can mash together a bunch of animals. You can create something entirely new. Or you could make a tarantula that can swim underwater, something we just don't see in the real world. You could have a kangaroo that runs on all fours as fast as a jaguar. However you want to do it in your book, well, it's your book. Yes, technically you should be careful when pulling the "I'm the author and I said so" card, but when you're writing fantasy, well, it kind of is entirely because you're the author and because you said so, because this is a completely new world, a completely new magic system, completely new laws, animals, every aspect of it. Well, it's because you said so. I hope this video helped you out. I hope Sir Reginald was a nice little entertainment for you. I don't know if you can see, there's literally a slime bubble in between my finger right now, so I'm gonna get ready to put him away. But for now, thank you for watching. Let me know if this helped you out. Let me know if you have some of your own magical creatures. I would love to compare and contrast in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and whatever time it is, morning, evening, or night, have a great day.